if you're going to go explore in the ancient cities, remember to bring yourself a hoe, since with this tool in particular, you'll be able to instant mine through all of the sculk blocks, which not only gives you a quick way to gain levels, but you're also likely to uncover large amounts of diamond ore. Since the way that diamonds are coded, they're more likely to spawn when they're covered by other blocks. And considering sculk counts for that, we're essentially just peeling off a blanket and waking up some sleeping diamonds. And by the point that you find them, you'll have plenty of levels left to enchant them, making this one of the most profitable ways to equip yourself. But you might be wondering how you even explore ancient cities without having to worry about you-know-who. Well, Ilamango's got you covered. Since with this machine, if we just shoot 6 arrows onto the wool block at the bottom of the arrow chamber, then we can close it back up and flip this on and off switch on the hopper clock, which all comes together to mean that we're completely disabling warden spawning. So even though you might hear warden sounds coming from this machine, the actual truth is those are the sounds of failed warden spawn attempts, since when you look around, you're not going to see any. And not only will this work in the ancient city that you built it within, but because of the built-in chunk loading, we guarantee that this works in any ancient city that you step into in the world, just as long as you're the player that shot the arrows into the machine. And at that point, we can use our hoe to get rid of all the skulk shriekers, so that even when this machine isn't working, we're still not going to have to worry about the warden. Forget smelting your items in a furnace, instead you want to build this. Since you're just 9 hoppers and a chest boat, we're able to make the poor man's super smelter. And we did it all without redstone, since any items that we put into the chest boat will get evenly dispersed amongst our furnaces, and that'll give us a 9 times return on a regular furnace. And hey, if you want it even better, I'd recommend switching these out for blast furnaces, and then you've got an 18 times return on that regular furnace. Which is great to have that much cooking power, but now the question is, how are you going to fuel it? And that's where carpets come in. Since as you see in this design by Eagle Eye, all it takes is having a couple of sticky pistons and coral fans to get ourselves infinite amounts of carpet, which is not only nice for decorating, but more importantly, we can also use these carpets as a way of fuel. And with the farm designed as this, that's 3.4 million carpet that we're getting to cook in our furnaces. At that point, I don't care how fast of a super smelter you have, it's not going to be able to go through all that fuel. Don't underestimate tipped arrows, since by just hitting yourself with one of these slow falling arrows, that'll give you just the right amount of slow falling effect that when we partner with a Riptide 3 Trident, we can use this to launch ourselves sky high. And the reason we use an arrow instead of a potion is so that when we reach the top of our ascent, we aren't still going to have the slow falling effect, because using slow falling with an elytra is just sad. And especially with how easy it is to get tipped arrows in Bedrock Edition, I think there's more than enough of a reason to try this out in your world. Forget using obsidian for your blast chambers, because ever since 1.19, waterlogged leaves can work just as well. For one, it's going to take a lot less time to mine all the blocks necessary to do this, and then when you get all those blocks, it's not even going to be a cut to your function. They'll work just as well for your concrete converter. And at that point, unless you need obsidian for another portal or enchantment table, I really don't think it's worth grabbing when you got this. TNT duplication machines are great, but getting slime blocks and coral early on is a real tough business. So instead, we can take after this user's design and make an easy early game cobble farm. Since by supplementing our build with a lot more observers, we're able to glitch out the TNT just the same and essentially duplicate it for all our uses. And then with enough cobblestone generators packed into the inside of the blast chamber, this is a fully automatic way to get loads of cobblestone, which will be handy because as soon as you do get a silk touch pick, you're really not going to get a lot more cobblestone from that point. So better to stock up while you can. If you're mining blocks like this, you gotta stop. Since the truth of the matter is that in Bedrock Edition, if you stand back at max reach distance and mine, you'll actually be mining faster than you do when you're right up close. So if you're going branch mining in Minecraft, you'll just want to take a couple steps back, at least until this bug gets patched. But with how long it's been on the bug tracker, I don't imagine that's going to be soon. Here's how to make your spyglass even better. Since the way that the spyglass works, it actually modifies your existing FOV. So while we could use our regular FOV and have it zoom in this much, if we lower that FOV to the bottom at 30, then you'll notice when we use the spyglass, it zooms in even closer. And then if you've got an additional zoom mod on top of that, you can really use this trick to get up close and personal, and then immediately switch off the lower FOV, because playing the rest of the game this way is miserable. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video, so see if they're right and have a good one, alright?